Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. Um, Let me see. My name is Tina Bickford. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. More importantly, I am a card maker, craft maker, and I love to share and teach what I love to do. So, welcome to my craft room. Just some things over here so I can see comments. If you're watching live, just drop a comment. Let me know. Say hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Pamela from Florida is joining us this morning. Thank you, Pamela. And Sandra from Oklahoma, one of my Okies, okay. And Louise, of course. Good morning, Louise. Lisa, cloudy in North Carolina. Thank God. You guys need a break, right? Thank you for joining. And Carissa, welcome. Welcome to my craft room. Welcome to Sunday card making, I guess. I don't know. So I have kind of a fun card today, but before I do that, so I wanted to show you, I told you that my birthday was on July 3rd, and I'm part of a card club, and I wanted to show you some of the cards that I got. Now, I have not received cards from everybody in the club yet, so I'm hoping that others will trickle in, but I wanted to show you the ones that I do have so far so that you can kind of see what I've got, and maybe a little bit of inspiration from these cards. So yeah, let me just switch down to the desk cam and start showing you some of these things. Here we go. All right. So some of these are from Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and some of them are just, they're not. So this one is, this card is from a very dear friend of mine, Juanita, and this was actually made on a Cricut, and it's one of those insert cards. So you can actually, so you put the insert, on the inside of the card. Gorgeous, love it, love it. That vanilla and blue together, I just love. It also inspired me to dig out my Cricut and do a little bit of work with my Cricut. So I'm going to show you this one. This is actually one that I made. I made this for, there is one of my coworkers. She likes to give birthday cards out to the people that work in our department. And so, or she was making little signs and putting them out. And I thought, well, she's got to have birthday cards to give them. So I made birthday cards and brought them into work. And she gave me one of my cards. So this is like a blue foil paper that I actually just found at, I think it was like the Dollar Tree or something like that. And I just embossed it and dug out that tempting turquoise from years ago. And yep, signed by all of the people. Love it. My envelope. Love it, love it. Good morning, Mom. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know how Dad would have done that by himself yesterday anyway. So I went over to my parents' house yesterday to give my mother her birthday card because my mother's birthday was on the 8th. And I ended up helping my dad put an awning up, a piece of an awning. And there were a lot of naughty words said. So this is another card that I got. This one is from, let me just see who this one is, Mickey Matos. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. Love those colors. And she did just different layers. Put just a, this looks like from the Deckled Circles dies, and then just the dies from that Cheers and Sips. Love it. Cute, cute. And this one here, and I'll show you this one too. the envelope flap. She did the envelope flap on this one to coordinate with the card. This one is from Sandy Rousey. And this one's cool. This is a pocket card. So that just fits right in there and right in that pocket. The Designer Series paper, it's double-sided, so she just flipped it over, folded it over, made that little pocket. Super cute. Love that one. And this next one is from Bridget Laguerre. So this is using the postage stamp dies and that painted lavender. Gorgeous. Love it. Love it. And did all of this on the inside. Even like this is, I don't know if you can see that. It's embossed. It's beautiful. I love that stamp. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then this one is actually, so this one is from Sue Wolf. And this is actually part of that Inked Occasions paper pumpkin kit. One of my faves. Love it. Love, love, love. And this one is from D. Clowder. So D, this is another kit. This is actually a kit that it may still be on the last chance list, but it comes with a, oh, let me grab it, hold on. It comes with a card organizer, like so, all that, spiral bound, cute, love it. And all of the stuff to make a bunch of cards with it. So that one was really, that one's kind of cool. So there's that. And then this one, this is one of my favorites that I got. So this one is from, let me just get it. This is from, oh, I need the, sorry, hold on. This one is from Sally Connors. Sorry, Sally Connors. So this opens this way. So it's just got that tiered step, opens this way, gorgeous paper, and then opens this way. And then she just put this deckled rectangle panel in there. Now, Sally actually sent a recipe in the package that she sent. So she sent this wonderful recipe in her card. Good morning, Carol. Thank you for joining. And then this too, she had this beautiful, like this, no, you can't really see it, but this little protective piece in here to protect that gold on the inside of the card. So thank you, Sally. And then this one, what the heck did I do with a card? This one is from Marilyn Ratcliffe. And I also had, I don't know what I did with the envelope for this one. So this is actually one of the, this design is actually one of the Crafternoon, Susan Cantfield's Crafternoon cards. So it pops up like this. Beautiful. This paper is super cool. I love that paper, that like burgundy color paper. Beautiful. Little embossing panels here. And on the inside. Love it. And then this one. This is one of the corner tuck. So this actually tucks in. Sorry, I had it untucked. So that tucks into the corner there. Gorgeous embossing corner. And this is the Fields, what is that called? Fields in Bloom. And this stamps, I have this stamp set and it's really, I love it. I love, so it's two different stamps that makes this. One for all of what you see here in green and then one that you see in pink. But she actually inked each one of them two different times with different colored ink. So there's a darker green down here, like probably a mellow moss. And then up here, it looks like it's probably granny apple green. And then for the pink, this is like Berry Burst, and then this looks like Pretty in Pink to match the card. And then this right here, so she did, I don't know if you can see this very well, she actually did some paper stacking on for the sentiment, which is gluing several layers together. It looks like she's probably got 3 layers there, and then popped it up. Very cute. Love it. Love, love, love. And then I've got this one. This one is from Evelyn Spywak. I'm sure I'm not saying that last name wrong. I'm right. And so this is just an embossed panel on the front. This is one of those Joy Fold cards. Love it. That blueberry bushel paper is really stunning. Love, love. And then the last one that I got, this one is from, let me see. It's from Leslie. What's Leslie's last name? Leslie Hogue. So this is from Leslie Hogue. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous card. Love, love, like tons and tons of layers in here on these flowers, and from the layering leaves and the bow punch in there. Just gorgeous. And even on the inside, look at that on the inside. All of that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it, love it. Those were my birthday cards. I love them. Put those up there. Okay, so you guys want to make today's card. So I had a completely different card planned for today, but then I saw this card, and I'll tell you. So if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you have access to a Facebook group called the Demonstrator Planning Place for demonstrators only. And there was a demonstrator that posted a picture in there. So the demonstrator that posted the picture, her name is Pam Colley Gaynor. And she posted a picture of this card that she made, and said that it was inspired by another demonstrator. And I went and looked at that demonstrator's YouTube video for this. So the demonstrator that made this card originally is Jen Rogue from, I think she's in Florida. And her channel or Facebook group is called Stamp Camp with Jen. So she made this card. I'm going to show you the card that I made that she made. So this is the card that she made, and it folds like this. And she calls this a multi-panel pop-up card. That's what she calls this one. And I thought this was just the cutest thing. And it's just so it's very similar to other like shadow box pop-up cards that I've done videos for, only this one is just multi-layered, and it's stepped on the side, and it folds flat both directions. So it's super cute. However, as cute as this card is, and all of the elements, glued to each of the pop-up panels, when I saw this card, my mind immediately went to something different. So that's what we're going to make today. I'm going to kind of give you, so I'm using all of her same dimensions with a couple of tweaks. But I will give you the dimensions on how she did this cut here on the side so that you can angle it. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to do something else, but let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right. So the first thing I'm also going to be doing, just so that you'll stay till the end of the video, I'm going to be doing an envelope for this card as well. Okay. So we're going to start with, I'm going to use some Balmy blue. Oh, wow. Did you guys just see how the color of this changed when I put the blue in? Oh, amazing. Does it do that for you guys too? It changes almost to like a little orange color. That's so funny. Okay, well, we're going to use that, and we have to use some white, some basic white. And then I'm using some designer series paper from the mixed florals, the mixed, what is it called? Yeah, mixed florals. Yeah, and do I have, oh, we have the pack right here. All right, so this is the pack that I am using. So this is called Mixed Media Florals. And it's got all of this gorgeous like black and white in it. And it's got, I've shown you this, all of these like awesome colors in here. Tons and tons of colors in this paper pack. Greens and just pinks and reds and blues and black and white. It's love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it changed colors. Yeah, it's so funny. That was weird. It was really weird. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for joining. Yeah, look at all these colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous. That Calypso coral in there. I love it, love it. So this is the pack that I'm using. I'm using this one here. It's funny because it's not one of my favorite patterns because I feel like it's busy, but the way that we're going to be using it in this card, I think it's perfect. But like the other side is this here. All right, so I'm also going to be using a couple of, so this is just a strip of, this is just scrap from that same pack. And then this one is from the, oh, you guys know what one this one is. It's the other Floral Impressions paper. And it's just scrap. So, but I wanted colors that were going to kind of tie into this designer series paper. So let's get started. All right. Our card base, we need our card base. And I'm sorry, it's probably it's going to change back to orange again when I pull this out, but it's not. That is so funny. That's amazing. All right. Well, it's not amazing. It's just funny. Okay. So our card base is actually, we're going to start with a piece that is 4 1/4 by 7. Now, as card makers, when you are starting with a card base that is 4 1/4 by anything, you're always inclined to cut. Hold on, let me just, that is driving me nuts. Let me grab, let me just grab this. Oh, hopefully it won't change now. Yeah, it's magic, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's see now. Oh, it still changed. That is so funny. It has got to be something with that is some in there, that color blue. It doesn't do that with anything else. This is balmy blue. Now you guys know balmy blue will change the color of your ring light. So that didn't really do anything. Put that down. All right. I'll pull this out. All right. So when we start with, I'm so distracted by that color change because I can see it right on my laptop. So when we cut anything, when we're cutting a card base that is 4 1/4 by anything, we're always inclined to cut here because it's the halfway point between the 8 1/2 inch side. You can do that. I did one card where I did that, and then all of the other pieces that I needed for this card, I had to kind of mix and match and cut. So I'm going to just, we're going to cut it a little bit different. So we need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 7. So I'm actually going to cut this way at 4 1/4. And then 7 in this way. Okay. And then we need pieces that are, okay, so we need 3 pieces of this cardstock. They're all going to be 5 inches wide. And then we need, so we're just do a little bit of math here. And I don't know if my engineer friend Ken is watching, but I'm sure he will appreciate that we are doing math. So we need 3 pieces that are 5 inches long. This is more than 5 inches long, but we need a 1 1/4 inch piece, 2 1/4 inch piece, and a 3 1/4 inch piece. So if you add all of those up, you have 6 3/4. Okay. If you take the way that we had this, we cut the 4 1/4 off of the 11. If you subtract 4 1/4 from 11, you get 6 3/4. So we don't even have to cut that. So we're just going to flip this around now, and we're going to, it's like cool. Math is cool. So we're just going to cut it 5 inches here. Now, all of this that we have, this is all extra paper that we have from this piece of cardstock. And I'm going to show you when I cut this the other way, starting the normal 4 1/4 inch way. I'm going to show you how you still have extra paper, obviously, but it's in much smaller pieces and kind of choppy. All right, so we need pieces that are 5 inches wide, and then we need the 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. Now, one thing that I'm going to do before I cut those down into the 1 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, all of them are going to be scored at a 1/2 inch in on each side. So I'm actually going to do that while I have the one whole big piece. And the reason I'm going to do that is I will know that all of my score lines on all 3 of these pieces will be exactly the same from piece to piece. So I'm, because you could be a little bit over the line, a little bit under the line when you're scoring. It happens. So I'm just going to take along that 5 inch side, I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then I'm just going to rotate that all the way around and do the same thing on the other side. And this will just ensure that no matter which piece I have, those score lines are identical to the other pieces. All right. So now we're just going to rotate this around to that 6 3/4 inches, and we're going to cut 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and then voila, you are left with 3 1/4. So that's it. Those are our 3 pieces there. This is our excess. This is what we have for excess when we cut that way. So let me just show you really quick. When I cut my pieces in the other direction, these were my pieces. These were my pieces. This was my piece. And what did I do with it? What did I do with that? Oh, you have it under here? Yes. Sorry. Have it under here. Let me just move these. All right. Let me move. This is, all right, so this is the excess that we got after we cut all of our pieces. So when I cut all of my pieces from this, and this is just scrap copy paper. So I cut all of my pieces from here. Those are all of the same pieces. This is what I got for extra pieces. A lot of this, you would just toss some of this because the pieces are so small, right? Think outside the box with your cutting, and you will get different pieces, bigger pieces that you can use for future projects. Okay, get all of that out of the way. Get that extra paper out of the way. Those out of the way. Let's get this blue out of the way so that we're not doing that. All right, so now our designer series paper. We're going to do some more math. I know you guys are like, we're not here for math. We're not here. Okay. All right, so for our designer series paper, we need 4 pieces that are 4 1/8 inch wide. And the reason for that is, so our pieces, these are all the pieces that we cut. These are 5 inches wide with a 1/2 inch on each side, leaving 4 inches in the middle. Did I say 4 1/8 inch? No, it's not. We don't need 4 1/8. I have my notes written down wrong. Let's just do this math. Yep, 5 inches here, and the middle section is 4 inches. So you want a piece of designer series paper that's going to go in this middle section. Now, if you like the 1/8 inch border around your, designer series paper, then you can cut yours a little bit smaller. So because mine is 4 inches, I want a 1/16 inch around each of them. I'm going to cut mine at, oops, make sure that's 4. Yep, that's 4. So I'm going to cut mine at 3 7/8. So we're going to have 4 pieces of paper, 4 pieces of designer series paper that are 3 7/8 inch wide. If you have designer series paper, if you're using designer series paper, you need to make sure that when you're cutting your 3 7/8 that you're looking at this upright, so that it is upright to you. Okay, so 3 7/8. And then we need, so the pieces that we need, when I do all of the same mathing that we did for the other pieces of cardstock, the length, the widths, well, this is the width, so the length of each of the pieces that we need totals 7 inches. This is a little bit under 7 inches because it's just a piece of scrap. When I do the project sheet for this, it will be 7 inches. So I'm actually just I'm going to cut my pieces in the order that we need to cut them, but I'm going to have a little less on the very back piece, which all of it's hidden anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm going to cut, I just want to bring this card back in first. This is directional paper, or it's a continuous pattern paper. So I'm going to cut this piece first and work my way up to the top, okay? So knowing that, and knowing that this piece is the bottom piece, I'm going to start cutting from the bottom with my with these dimensions. So I'm just going to rotate this so that the bottom is over here. Our first piece is 1 1/8. So again, this is 3 7/8 inch wide. Now this piece is 1 1/8. The next piece is going to be 1 3/4. And then our next piece is going to be 2 inches. And then the last piece would normally be 2 1/8 inch. I'm shy 3/16 on this piece. I didn't think that was enough to cut a whole new piece of designer series paper. This bottom is going to be hidden anyway. So that's our designer series paper. All right, let's start. Let me just get some other things cut here. So set this aside with our other stuff, and we need some white. So the pieces of white, now I didn't happen to have any scrap handy, so I'm just going to cut here. We need 2 pieces. So we need 3 pieces that are 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut 1 1/4 along this long way. I can actually do it this way. 2, 4, 5 1/2. Okay, so 1 1/4. I'm just going to cut that right off of there. And then I need 2 of these pieces are going to be 2 inches. 2. And oops, 2. And then one piece is going to be 1 1/2. I hope you guys love this card. All right, so then I didn't measure this. All right, sorry for my arm in the way. So, all right. So then we need 3 more pieces. These are going to be 2 1/4. I'm going to cut this way to get this length here. And again, if you just have scrap white, everyone's got scrap white. I don't know why I can't seem to find any, but I can't. So these are going to be 3 inches. So this is 2 1/4 by 3. What these are. And we need 3 of those. Okay. And we're going to start putting some stuff together. All right, so I'm going to pull up. So I'm going to just pull my balmy blue back in, my 4 1/4 by 7, and we're going to score along the 7-inch side. We're going to score at 1.5 inches on both sides. 1.5 and a 1.5. Ooh, I almost reached for my cutting blade. That would have been bad. Okay, let's put some stuff together here. I'm going to pull in all of our pieces here, and we're going to pull in our designer series paper. That's going to be on that one. Oops, that's going to be on that one and that one and this one. Okay, and make sure that we have them all upright. I got those two mixed up. There. Oops. Perfect. Like that and like that. Now, this is one of those patterned papers that honestly, if you didn't get it, it's very busy. So I don't think it would really matter if you got them a little bit mixed up. Hi, Crystal. Thank you for watching. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to put this designer series paper down with my Stampin' Seal. And you can use your multi-purpose liquid glue. So this first piece, you have that 1/16 inch all the way around. For this piece here, you'll notice it doesn't fit all the way to the bottom. That's okay. We're going to be putting this piece up towards the top anyway. So we want the 1/16 inch between the score lines and the top. And we're going to do the same thing with that other piece. There. And we're going to put that one right there. So we have those pieces there. Now this piece, let's just set that white cardstock aside. This piece, we are going to do the same thing. We're going to put this designer series paper on here like that, but I want to do one thing first. So I'm going to show you first how she did hers. What did I do with that? Oh boy. All right. Let me put this out here so you guys can see this. And let me just try to zoom in just a little bit here. Okay, good. All right. So what she did, if you take your piece of cardstock, these are your score lines here, and this is your top. She measured out 1/2 inch from each score line. And then from the top corner down, she measured 2 inches. And then she cut from that 1/2 inch to the 2 inch along each one. And that made that this angle right here. Okay. I'm not going to do that because I have to be fancy. So I am just going to use my Everyday Arches dies. And I'm going to use one that I already had. I put the tape on it already so I would know which one to use. So I'm actually going to cut a rounded edge. I'm going to die cut a rounded edge on this one, but I don't want to cut it all the way through. So I am going to flip my die over. Let me just, zoom back out a little bit here. All right. So I'm just going to flip my die over, and I want this rounded edge. So this is going to be my card. This is the top. I want this rounded edge to come around here. So I'm going to put my cardstock on that. I want to make sure that I am, let me just try to zoom in a little bit here so you can see. I just got to remember I'm zoomed in here. Okay. So I'm going to put this, I want this detail on the outside and on that arch. So I'm going to come up here. I don't want this to cut my card, but I do want it as close to the top as possible. So I'm just putting my card base up so it will cut. It will not cut right there. You can't, I mean, it's very hard to see. By putting the washi tape on the die upside down first, now I can just press that area where that washi tape is, and my cardstock is in place. So I'm going to roll that through my die cutting machine. Now, when you do this, I'm not cutting all the way through. So if I just roll this willy-nilly through my die cutting machine, it's going to cut all of this. So we obviously don't want to do that. Let me zoom back out. Bring in my die cutter here. So I am going to take my very messy plate 1, thin die adapter 2. I'm going to take one of my number 3 cutting plates, and I'm going to take this and put I like to cut down, so I'm using my marked up one here. And then when you place this on, this one, you're only going to place this top plate, up to that score line. It won't cut anything that's not inside that, inside, between the 2 plates. It won't cut any of this because there's no pressure cutting down. So I just want, because I've been moving this around, I just want to double check that. Yep, everything looks good there. Place that on there. Put my cutting plate right down there. And we're going to roll that through. Oops, get that right there. Right there. And roll through. Like that. Move this out of the way. Okay. So then when I take this off, what I get is that really nice, it's a little offline here. Because I was moving it around. But I have that really nice detail right there. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put my washi tape on this side. Line that up. Make sure it's not cutting the side or the top. Press down. And I'm going to roll that through. I'm going to do that right off camera, just like I did that one. Do this one. Oops. Sorry, I'm still here. I'm still here. Trying to line that up. And roll it through. It's funny. There was one time I was rolling that through, and because I had my plates offset like that. When I when I rolled, when I got to the other side, the top plate went flying out the back of my machine and on the floor and made a big crash. It was funny. Okay. Then we have this side's going to come out much better. Much better. Gorge. Love it. Okay. Now, close that. Good morning, Aunt Judy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. All right, let's just put that away. Put that aside. Done with that. Get some of this mess out. All right, so this is our card base. This is how we're going to start. So I'm going to flip this over. These should fold in towards you. We're going to grab this back, our other pieces. I want to put this piece on, so I just want to make sure, because I've moved it all around my desk, I want to make sure I know which way is up. And I'm going to put this one on the inside. So this is coming up this way. This is the inside of our card. So this is going to go 1/16 from the top and from each score line. Perfect. All right, now the fun part. This isn't even the fun part. This is fun. When we do these ones, that's going to be fun. So this right here, we're going to put our tear and tape. So I'm going to put tear and tape on the edges of this. So when you put tear and tape on like little tabs like this, you do want to get as close to the score line as you can without actually going over the score line. You don't want to have your tear and tape out on the edge. If you do, like if you do put it out there, just put another piece near the score line. That one in. And it's not necessary that it goes right up to the very end, as long as you have most of it on there, like so. And then give that tear and tape just a little bit of a burnish with your bone folder. Now we're going to fold and burnish these. Now these tabs fold to the back. On all of these all fold to the back. Like so. Then we are going to start with the largest one, and we're going to pull that tear and tape off one side. So I'm right-handed. I found working on this right-hand side was easiest for me. So you pull that tear and tape off, flatten that out, pull in your card base. Now we're going to lay this on. We're going to line up this edge with the score line here, and you're going to line up the bottom even with the bottom of your card base. So it's nice and even. This first one, if I was going to, give you any advice here, this first one, it's really important to get this one on straight, because all of the others come off of it. So now that's on like that. It's lined up right to the bottom. So now you just flatten this out here, this side out. Take your tear and tape off this side. Now when you look, you should be very close to, if not right on, that score line. It depends on how close you got to this score line. And then just close that. And I just like to make sure, side to side, that this is going both ways. Yep, both ways. All right, so now we're going to take the next largest piece, remove that tear and tape. This one also gets lined up with the bottom. Now, when I watched Jen's video, she did fit it in this way, like this, and then did each side. I found that I had enough of a bottom here that I'm going to line up this tab with that I took the release paper off. This is up at the top, and I'm going to line that up with the edge of this, to the is this the 3.5, the 3 1/4, the 3 1/4 inch piece. So I'm taking this 2 1/4 inch piece and I'm lining up this edge with that folded edge there and making sure that it's straight on along the bottom here. Now, your score line straight, and the reason I said make sure this first one is straight is because you can now just easily butt that right up and it's going to be straight along the bottom. It's just how it works. Okay, so there. So now again, so when Jen did hers, she removed the release paper and she brought it in here and she did it this way. Again, I think that there's a little bit of an easier way here. So I just fold this in this direction, so fold it down, remove that release paper like that. And then while you're holding this down, just tuck that tab underneath. You can see that it's lined up. And there you go. And so you just make sure that it's going both ways. Okay. Now this piece is the piece that you want to pay the most attention to as far as if you have a directional paper or not. These ones are easy to know which side is the top because you left space at the bottom. This one you didn't. So you need to make sure that you know which way is up. Okay. So I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to do the same thing because this one's straight, this one's straight. I'm just going to fold that down and I'm going to line this up, butt it right up against that and right along that bottom edge, like so. And then I'm going to come over here, fold it back the other way, hold it down, remove that release paper, and tuck that edge under, just like that. And now it folds both ways. Cool. All right. Now let's get to some fun stuff here. I am going to make little mini cards. These don't have to be anything fancy or just they don't have to have stamping on them or anything. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take like some designer series paper and just do stuff on it. So for this one right here, I'm just going to do, and I'm going to do just whatever I want. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to make it look like it's just a little mini card. And you can even put, like if you have a, you have just another little scrap, you can just come in and do this. Put a little, put a little on that, make it look like a little layer, like that. You know, whatever you want to do, just make it looks like a little, like you're making a little card. Like that. And then this one, we'll do this side, and I'll just cut. And I'm fussy cutting these, you know, just really quick, not anything even, you know, no measuring or anything once you do this. And you can do these any way you want. So I'm just going to put this up at the top like that. And then I have this little piece here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that. And we can put that like over here, like so. I should put glue on this instead of that multi-purpose. Come on. Like that. Oh, yeah, I knew I couldn't get through the whole video without getting glue on my fingers, but All right, so there's 2 little cards that we just did. Now this one here, oops, just going to cut. And you can be a lot more exact than I am here. You can just do, you know, your own thing here. It's really just meant to kind of look like little greeting cards. Like that. Maybe we take a little strip of this and put it here. Cute. All right, and then we are going to break out our what did I do with them? So these are the dies from the Notes and Totes. I am just using one. I'm using this one here, which is kind of looks like a magazine. And I'm just going to cut all 3 of these. I'm gonna cut with this. I'm gonna actually cut 2 at a time. I don't think I can get 3 cut, but I can just try to save time here and do 2 at a time. Roll that through. How are you guys doing? You hanging in with me? All right. There. We're almost done with the card, and then we'll do a really quick envelope. Oopsies. Like so. Okay. Pull that one through. All right. So now we have 3 little magazines. There. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping on those. So I'm just going to take from my Notes and Totes, I am going to take the exclusive Made for You, and I am going to do this one in the Balmy Blue. This one here. I'm just going to stamp that right up at the top, like that. And then in the Balmy Blue also, I'm going to take the hibiscus stamp from there, and I'm just going to stamp a couple of hibiscus in here. 1st generation, 2nd generation stamps. Do another 2nd generation down here. So it's just cute. There's that one. And then our next magazine, we are going to do the CALYPSO Coral. And we're going to do the News Flash. You are fabulous on this one. Like that. And for this one, I'm going to use this. I need my bigger block. I'm going to use this smaller. And then I'm just going to grab a little piece of scrap paper. And cover up that side there because I don't want to get it all over. I want it to look like it's inside that area. And I think that's good enough actually, because a lot of that's going to be hidden. And then, so that's our 2nd magazine. And then our last magazine, we are going to do in the Night of Navy. And for this one, I'm going to grab my terrific toadstools, the You Are Magical. I'll grab this one. And what I'm going to do is, oops, I'm going to ink up just the word magical first and stamp that on there because the whole thing is too wide to fit on this. So I'm going to offset it a little bit. I'm going to rinse that, wash that stamp off really good because I don't want that to get on there. And then I'm going to come over on the other side, just ink up the You Are and stamp that on there towards the top. So You Are Magical. And then also from the Terrific Toadstools, I'm just going to use this little leaf. And in the Night of Navy, I'm going to do just first generation and second generation stamp. And we are ready to put our card, finish our card. All right, close that ink and move that out of the way. Let's pull our card back. All right, grab all of our magazines and stuff. So we are going to put this one, I'm going to put just some Stampin' Seal towards the bottom of this. I'm going to put this one in the front. So I'm going to put this one, I'm going to kind of line it up with the bottom here. And in a little bit and just press. And then we're going to take we're going to take the shorter of these three. We're going to take the shorter one and do the same thing. Put a little bit of Stampin' Seal at the bottom. And we're going to put this one. This one obviously won't go all the way to the bottom. And then we're going to take our Night of Navy magazine and we're going to come up to this next step here and put that on. And I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I'm making it kind of look like it's just a little bit above that. And then we're going to come in with one of our other little cards and put that one on. And I'm just pressing lightly right now. I'm not pressing too hard. So let's just put the seal on both of those. Now this one is important because our card is 4 1/4 tall already, and it ends up 5 1/2 wide this way when it's folded. You can't put these so that they extend past that. Okay, so we're just going to come in here, and I'm holding it kind of from the bottom so that I can grab that, and I'm just putting it so that you can see it there and there. Now I have those just in there lightly. Now I'm just going to take and press all of those down. And that is our card. Check it out. It's a card display. As soon as I saw this card, I thought, well, that looks like some kind of a retail display shelf. It's for cards. And you can put whatever you want on these little magazines or cards. Imagine if you were able to make just cute little, like actual cards that you could put in there, you know, like stamp little tiny things on there. How fun and cute would that be? Put my ceiling fan on. It's getting hot in here. All right. So I'm going to do very quickly, I'm just going to show you how to do a coordinating envelope. So I have an envelope here with my flap, and I don't know where this envelope even came from. I think this is actually one that came with one of my cards, one of my birthday cards. So I'm going to take the same designer series paper. So what I did first is I got a little bit of a measurement of, you know, what the flap was. So a 6-inch piece of designer series paper would cover from side to side. And the flap itself is like 2 1/4. So if I came out to, you know, 2 1/2, I would have more than enough. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 1/2 by 6. When I cut this, I want to be mindful of the direction that it's on there. So I'm going to cut 6 inches this way and then the 2.5 that way. So let's do the 2.5 first. 2.5, and then 6. And then I just take my, liquid glue. I know a lot of people use their Stampin' Seal. That comes out. And I just put it, I put it close to the edges because I don't want it to peel up. And then I just do really light all the way through that whole flap like that. You can see that. And then I'm just going to lay this on right up to that score. And I'm going to let that set just for a second. Now you can put your flaps through the embossing machine. You can emboss them. You do want to be careful when you're embossing because it can affect the envelope glue. So now all I'm going to do, I know this is kind of hard to see. Now all I'm going to do is trim. So trim there. I love these scissors, and if you've been with Stampin' Up for a while, you know that these you can't get these scissors anymore, but I have had them for more than 20 years and I love them. I did have them sharpened, but I love them. Love them, love them. And there. So now we have a coordinating envelope. So this card, again, this was not the card that I had planned for today, but as soon as I saw that post, my mind immediately went to this being a display rack for cards. So yeah, tell me what you think. So here's her card. Well, my version of her card. So this is the one that we just did. When it folds down, you've got that. I love that arch. I just think I love it. And I'm sure you could do other shapes. I mean, you could take the meant to be dies and do like a little angle there. So there's that one. This is a version of her card where she put the 3 flowers on hers and it folds down this way, same. And then this is the other one that I did just kind of playing around. So I did this one in the Lost Lagoon and really just did the same thing. I just took some white and some Night of Navy and just kind of made little, so this is a die cut that I had left over from the ones I'm using to do my daughter's wedding invitations. And I set it down on the little piece of white, the 1 1/4 by 1 1/2 piece here. And I just sponged on it. My intention was to leave that, the white space behind, but then I thought that would look so cute on there and just offset. So I just offset it to make it look like it had a little shadow. But the rest of them, and when you look down in the card, so this is why, so one of her original cards that she showed, she didn't do the longer designer series paper to go in, all the way. And she said that when you look down in the card, you could see the actual, like the color of the cardstock, and she didn't love that. So she made the designer series paper a little bit longer to come down so that it was hidden more. And I have to agree that definitely looks so much better. Like same thing, like this one. When you look down in the card, you really have to look way down. So, yep, there's that one. And then this is the one that we just did. How stinking cute is that? Oh, I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. All right. So let me come back to, I gotta figure out this, maximize this one. Oh, look, I did something weird to my hair there. Okay. So let me just see if I can get all of these comments. Thank you. It's a cute card. A lot of people saying it's a cute card. Yes. And Louise is saying it would be cool to make a pocket in the back panel for a gift card. I agree. So one of the things that she did, because she also said that, you know, you can make a panel for the back for your stamping and your sentiment and where you can sign it. I haven't done that yet. On any of these because I wasn't really sure. Like I had a whole lot going on the front, so I wasn't sure what I wanted to put on the back yet. But yeah, putting a pocket, putting a pocket right in here, like in this one right here for a gift card would be awesome. Yeah, cool. Lots of ideas with this one. So Jen Rogue was her name, and she is her channel was, well, I found her when I searched Stamp Camp for Jen. So yeah, I would encourage you to go and watch her video and yeah, let me know what you think. So I will have at least one more card made because I am going to do a project sheet for this one. And yeah, can't think of anything else. So I'm going to do a project sheet. So here's a standard. If you're watching and you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. So we're actually up to, when I looked this morning, like 926 subscribers, which is just amazing to me. But we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. So I would love it if you would like and share my videos on YouTube and comment on them. It helps YouTube, the algorithm, kind of, you know, push my videos out for more people to see them. So I appreciate all that you help, all that you do to help get me my videos out there. So yeah, and if you don't already follow me on Facebook, there will be a link in the description of this video where you can follow me on Facebook. I do post all of the alternates over there that I make, and yeah, so I will be back next Sunday. I don't know if it'll be a fun fold. I'm trying to go through like some of my older stuff, some of my craft stash. We all have this craft stash. We have stuff that we've had for 20 years, 25 years. We have stuff that we don't even know where it came from. And I know I'm not alone when I say that. So I am trying to pull stuff out like this. Is it, no, it's this one right here, this top section right here has a bunch of pre-cut and pre-scored card bases in it. Red, white, blue. I mean, just all kinds of different stuff. So I'm going to just start pulling out some stuff, some random things, and make cards with them. And yeah, so I'm also going to be doing, or I'm planning on doing a craft fair in November. In my hometown, they have one. It's a pretty good size craft fair at our middle school. So I am going to be doing that. So I'm just trying to figure out like different ways of displaying my cards and stuff. And I actually bought this right here, this display rack from a store that was they were relocating. So they were selling all of their fixtures and displays really cheap. So I got that. I'm trying to work out, you know, how to do it. I am going to be putting, I'm going to try to put some kind of a sign on the top of it that says Tatted Stamper. So I'm pretty excited about all of that. So definitely need to be making a lot more cards. So look forward to some alternates on all of these projects and hopefully using up some of this stash. Anyway, I know I'm not alone. I know all of you out there have the same problem that I have, where you just have so much stuff that you don't even know half of what you have. So there's that. I'm going to dig into it. That's my goal for the rest of this year, is to dig into some of this stuff and use it up. Okay, well, I will, like I said, be back next week on Sunday at 10 a.m. like usual, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you're not watching from the East Coast. Yeah, so I thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining my video this morning. Thank you for commenting. I love reading all of the comments on there. And share my videos. Tell your friends. And I will see you next week. Bye.